Excited? No one's falling asleep? I don't see anyone yawning. Are you having a good time?
Yes.
Are you learning a lot?
Yes.
Okay. So we have Michaelle Solages here. Did I say that right? Thank you, thank you. I'd like to tell you a little bit about her before she comes up. Okay. All right. A lifelong resident of Elmont, Michaelle Solages was elected to represent the 22nd Assembly District in November 2012. What is the 22nd District? The 22nd Assembly District includes North Valley Stream, South Valley Stream, South Floral Park, Belrose Terrace, North Woodmere, Elmont, basically Nassau, those parts of Nassau County. At an early age, she learned the value of hard work and the importance of quality education. Michaelle earned a bachelor's degree from Hofstra University School of Education, Health and Human Services. After graduation, she remained at Hofstra as a supervisor of access services at the university's Axon Library. She has helped to empower students through printed material and educational technology. She has also played a role in the modernization of the library's resources. Michaelle gives back to the community. As a result, she has volunteered as a legislative aide and served as an organizer for various civic and nonprofit organizations. One of Michaelle's top priorities is fighting for Nassau's middle class. She recognizes that a livable wage and safe working conditions are fundamental rights. She also seeks to be an advocate for environmental conservation, education, and small businesses. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Michaelle Solages. Let's put our hands together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you all for coming here today. I first like to thank Senator Sanders because as a man, he's smart. He's empowering women, right? So I thank him for that. I'd like to also thank, Vote, Really Lead, Run, excuse me. I had the opportunity to meet them in Minneapolis when I went to the National Conference of State Legislatures, and they were empowering so many women to run across this country. And so I thank them for that mission of getting women involved in government, which is so important. So thank you so much. And I also like to thank Rodney's. Really, she gives me all the kudos, but please give her a round of applause. Decided to run way before I even thought to run, and she really inspired me. And so I saw her tenacity and her persistence, and really that inspired me to run for office, because I see that there's a woman here who will never take no for an answer, and that's who we need in government, right? Exactly. So once again, my name is Michaelle Solages, and I'm the Assembly member of the 22nd Assembly District. I do represent a portion of Nassau County, but I want to tell you I represent all women in New York State and all working families. We know that they may say that men are the heads of the family, but I'm sure I tell you the women are the neck. Because when you have neck pain, you can't get anything done, right? No. But really, it's true. Women are a solid foundation in our country, and it's so important that we empower women. And it's so important also that we change the dynamic of what is politics and why are women involved in politics. I can tell you right now, across the country, only 23% of women are involved in state legislatures. 23%. That's very low, if you look at it. Right now, women are not represented well in Congress, too, and they are not well represented in staff positions behind those legislators, especially minority women. Minority women, we get paid less, we get less hours, they make our work schedule so infrequent that we're not able to take care of our kids, We have less access to childcare. I could sit here and tell you statistics that we all know, we live this every day, that we are not getting our fair share. So can we sit here and complain? No. I mean, we can make man's life miserable. I like doing that, but no. No, but instead, we have to get involved. We have to run. And so that's what really inspired me to become an assembly member. I could tell you, before I was even thinking about politics, I was a supervisor of access service at the Axon Library. I was a very shy person. You know, I always gave to everyone else. You know, I wanted to help everyone else. You know, I always sacrificed myself for everyone else, especially my family. And so, you know, my brother, I have a brother who's also a county legislator, and he's a great guy, Michaelle Solages. I would always help him on his endeavors in political campaigns. So I remember he was like, come on, little sister, come, let's go to a campaign, let's go help out a campaign. I was like, okay, whatever, you know, I'll go help you. I'm not doing anything. And so I remember putting up my first campaign sign for a woman named Vivian Russell out in the town of North Hempstead, Nassau County. She's also a minority woman, and she ran for a council seat in the town of North Hempstead. And that's where I started my political life. I started putting up signs. As I progressed into my political, you know, life, I put up signs, I started, you know, knocking on doors, and then I also started running the campaigns. I started to enjoy what I was doing. I was like, hey, look, this is something that I'm getting into. I got more involved. I just learned the process. At first, I sat back and learned what it means to run a campaign, what it means to fundraise, what it means to really, you know, galvanize your base and know what your base is, which is very important when you're running for office. Then my brother ran in about 2011, and I helped run his campaign for the legislative seat. One day I was sitting in the office and I heard these guys outside. I was like hearing these guys outside, and all of a sudden one gentleman comes up to me when I walk outside to see what's going on and starts saying racist and sexist comments to me. He mentioned something like, we all need to go to the back of the bus where we belong. Luckily, as a smart woman, I recorded everything that he was saying. And you know, we went out and we showed people this tape because we said to them, we're not being represented in government. If our public official is hiring a goon that can say these messages, imagine what our public official is saying behind the door. And so that revealed to people, and also my brother's a very dynamic man, that we need new representation in government. And I agree. I can think of, you probably could think of a community official in your neck of the woods that you feel probably is not representing your community, right? So what are you going to do about it? You're going to run, right? Yeah. If not, it's an open seat, you're going to run. And so I'm here to inspire you to run, because my story is, I believe, should inspire you. Because at first, I was scared of public speaking. You would never find me like out in front of like at least 10 people talking about anything. And I have to thank one woman here. She's right here, Gail Lewis. She actually was my speech coach and helped me, you know, prepare. So please give her a round of applause. Gail just helped me with those tools. And when I say know your base, galvanize your resources, I mean find people in the community that are here to help. We found Gail. She came I think every week we sat down and we prepared, and she got me out of that whole mode of being scared to speak publicly and to just talk about my ideas. She taught me that people want to hear what you have to say. It's true. You are a knowledge base. Don't let anyone tell you that you don't know anything. And I just wanted to speak to the question. Someone said that people talk about our background or say that women can't do certain things because of either their bearing family or whatnot. I heard excuses, and don't zip your mouth when you say that. But to tell you, we need to change the paradigm of politics. And we need to start by saying that women can be elected, we can have families, and we can run for office, and we can be elected officials. Everyone can be elected official, because diversity adds value to government. Right. And so we need to make sure we add that diversity. So everyone here has something to add. And so I want you to talk about it. You'll be surprised. You'll think that people don't care about it, but they do. For instance, I really care about childcare and universal pre-K. And so at first, I come from Nassau County, so President Ronald Reagan once said, if a Republican died and went to heaven, it would look like Nassau County. So every other political official, I was on a panel before this, and every other little political official, except my brother and I, was a white male. Okay? When I spoke, people listened, and the crowd was diverse. But people liked what I said because I said it with passion, I said it with confidence, and I talked about issues that people weren't talking about. I talked about universal pre-K, I talked about the DREAM Act, I talked about making sure that we give resources to lower income families. People like hearing that because you'll be surprised. Sometimes they're in that situation and they're afraid to say it. But that's what you're here for, to be a mouthpiece. And so I urge everyone here to speak up, to run, to get involved in government. No matter what your fears are, disregard. Because you are speaking for hundreds of other people who cannot speak.
Right.
And so I thank you so much for sitting here. This is the first step, learning. Before I ran for my particular assembly district, it was a new district. After reapportionment or redistricting, they created a new assembly district, the 22nd Assembly District. It was the first district represented by an assembly member that actually was a minority community on the western Nassau County. And so before I ran for that seat, I took one of these courses. And it taught me the tools I needed and gave me the confidence that I needed to really start preparing to run. So make sure you take all notes. I see some good notes right here in this front table. And she's a computer, she's set, you know? Or should I send the donation? Make sure that you take good notes and that you stay connected with the people in this room. Because they will help you and they will be your moral support. And trust me, you will need moral support. So I thank you so much, and I'm open to questions and anything that you need.